Stampers, and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. Today I just wanted to show you how I created this fabulous card with those different shades using the Irresistibly Floral Designer Series paper. So this paper is super fun as it is white paper, clear embossed with some super amazing images, and of course a lot of them are flowers, so I love them. So here I actually used crushed curry, tangerine tango, and watermelon wonder, and I used my sponge brayers to achieve those colors on my paper. So let's just set that aside, and here I brought in a new piece. Of course you can't really see it because it's white, clear embossed white, but once I start to add the color you're really gonna see it pop, and I love that. So I'm just going to start with my crushed curry. And I have my little sponge brayer, and I'm just going to, let me pull this in a little, I'm just going to roll over it a little bit and then just start coloring back and forth. You'll look at the brayer and think there's no ink on there, but trust me, there is, and it's okay, and the more you do it, the more you start to see that color appear. And it's great because you can get a light color, but then you can also just keep going over it a few more times to slowly get the color that you really want to see. So you know me, I love my bright colors. So here I'm going to go, and I'm going to start to go just a little bit into what I want as my next color. So here we have that. And of course, before we switch colors, we want to make sure that we rub off any excess ink. So the only way to do that is you can take a paper towel, a Kleenex, or whatever you have handy and just rub off that excess ink. And you see how that image really pops, because there's just a little bit of ink on top of the embossed image. Since it's kind of like a shiny image, then we'll always want to pull off any excess ink that's sitting on top of that. Here I just popped in another sponge brayer. These sponge brayers come in a pack where there's 2 handles and 4 of the little sponges. And you can always wash them, and then, then they can like run them under cold water or hot water. I usually use cold. And then squeeze out any excess ink and then just let them dry, and you can use another color the next time. Okay, so this time I'm going to start to work this way. And here I'm going to go over with that orange, Tangerine Tango, and I'm going to slowly smear a little bit into that yellow, just so it doesn't look so obvious that I, moved to the next color. I want it to sort of, lightly look like it gradiates into the next one. That's not the right word, I don't think. Gradually fades into the next color. How about that? So there's that, and then now I'm just going to wipe off any excess and see how fabulous that looks. Then our last color here is Watermelon Wonder. I will say your darker pinks will really stain it good. I use Melon Mambo for this one, and I use it a lot. So I think this one is permanently stained with your hot pink color. So I'll probably, even though I'll wash it, I'll still probably always use it in my darker pink shades. And again, I want to do that end there, but I also want to go a little bit into my orange, and just kind of lightly go over that orange spot, just so that it gradually fades into the next color and doesn't look like I just have like one strong, swatch of that color. And again, we're going to wipe off the excess. And there you have that fabulous look of the 3 colors. Now I will say, you might be wondering why this one looks a little darker. I think that's because I accidentally used one of the sponge brayers that had a darker color on it, because I was like, what just happened there? But I thought, we'll just go with it. So this one of course came out a little bit brighter yellow because I was using a fresh one that I had just washed. For this I added a little bit of the Whisper White Baker's Twine around the top. And then down here I actually used the Crazy About You stamp set to do the wording, and I did that happy. I wanted the happy to kind of pop a little bit, so I added a little wink of Stella, so it has a little bit of glitz and glamour to it. If you want, and I actually put my piece on my card first, and then I didn't want my greeting to be that low, but you could also put it like this and put your greeting up here in the yellow to make it pop a little bit more. I know my husband said that the happy doesn't look very bold, and so next time if you don't like such a greeting that falls into the image so much, you can always do it up top here in the yellow so that it pops a little bit more. But then there's that little happy for you, and then I have the little greeting down there with a little silver candy dot. Love, love, love it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and check out the Irresistibly Floral Designer Series paper. It's so much fun to use. You can create lots of different creations using spritzers, sponge daubers, markers, ink pads, stamps, just about anything to add color to make those images pop and get that gorgeous pattern to show up. So be sure to check out my blog, laurasstamppad.com, as I'll be posting photos of these samples as well as other ones using that same Designer Series paper. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. I post every Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll see you next time. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.